Good morning. We're doing a what I eat in a day video today. So of course we're gonna start things off with breakfast and we're gonna get into that. But first, hi, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. A little disclaimer I like to give before all these what I eat in a day videos is that, this is not here to tell you what to eat or how much to eat or anything like that. It's not here to, say this is what you should eat every single day. This is just to give you some ideas and some inspiration. Maybe you're curious about what kind of things I eat, or maybe you just need like a little something to get your creative juices flowing when you're thinking about what kind of meals you want to eat. Because remember that every single day is different, every single person is different, and what we like and what we need, it's going to be different. So keep that in mind. And also, of course, with all of these, I'm not showing you every single bite of food that goes into my mouth, because that's not the point of this. The point is to show you the general flow of my meals throughout the day and just kind of what kind of fun stuff I'm eating. So let's get into breakfast. I'm really excited about it. I've got it all ready and I can't wait to eat it. So today we are working with some breakfast casserole. This is something that I just recently made a couple days ago, and so far it's delicious. I didn't have a good breakfast casserole recipe that I liked, so I'm trying to develop one. So this is version 1, and honestly, I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know that I'd really make many changes, but it's got, you can kind of see it's got like green pepper and red bell pepper and some potatoes and red onion and a little bit of sausage in there, and the eggs, of course, and some cheese. So it's been really nice, and I'm just still loving these breakfasts that I have ready to go in the fridge. Nothing I have to put together. I make it ahead of time and then I can just pull it out and heat it up. And I've got a little clementine on the side here because it is citrus season and we love our citrus. So yummy, especially when, it's cold outside. It's nice to have something kind of bright and sunny to start your day, I think. And then I've got my coffee and some hot sauce, because hot sauce and eggs, they just go together. So we're gonna do that too. And I actually need to hop on a morning meeting in like 2 minutes here. So I'm gonna grab this and get set up at my laptop and eat this during my meeting, and then I'll talk to you in a little bit. Morning meeting was good. Got that done. I do have some laundry going in the washer now, so if you hear like a sound in the background, that's what that is. But I'm gonna pull lunch together now, and lunch, as is usual, is leftovers from dinner. Not last night, but a couple nights ago. So I thought I could show you as I build. I've got everything out. We're doing like a kind of rice bowl format. So I've got rice here, and then we're gonna be putting in, oh, say hello to a kitchen. Hello, ma'am. Hi. Hi. Maybe she wants lunch too. So we're gonna be putting in, first thing is gonna be this chicken. So these are a sticky pomegranate chicken thigh, if it will focus on it. There we go. Sticky pomegranate chicken thigh. This is hard to do one-handed, but we're gonna make it happen. And this is actually a recipe that was developed by yours truly. I made this is a recipe I developed for the Dr. Yum Project. It's a nonprofit I work with, so I'll link the recipe for you. Really, really good. Pretty easy as well. It's one of my favorites that I have, that I've made. So that's happening. Oh, I forgot to put in the sesame oil. I wanted to put some sesame oil on my rice. We're gonna drizzle some of this in here. There, we'll kind of mix that in. Let me get my spoon. So I've got this going on. Now the pomegranate chicken thigh recipe is just the chicken thigh. And this is kind of just how I'm serving it, but you could serve it with a lot of different stuff. You could, serve it with more like traditional separate sides, or you could do this kind of bowl style thing that I'm doing. You could use it in a lot of different ways. We're just gonna kind of mix that around a little bit, get the sesame oil moving through there. And then I'm gonna put in some other things. So I've got some cucumber here. We're gonna plop this in here. That's a pretty good scoop of cucumber, I think. All right, we've got that. And then I'm gonna, for a little bit of spicy, I've got this daikon radish kimchi that I made. Whew, we don't have too much of that left. It really wants to focus on the rim of the jar. There you go, you can see that done in there. So I actually need to make more of this. But this is great because it adds a little like spicy and a little bit of like sour to contrast with everything else. And that's actually a really good thing to keep in mind when you're making your meals and thinking about putting them together, is to think about how the different flavors go together. We got the kind of cooling cucumber, the spicy tangy thing happening here. This has like soy sauce and rice vinegar and pomegranate juice, so kind of sweet, kind of salty. And then the color, so you can see we've got a variety of colors happening here as well. Okay, so I stopped real quick so I can more easily scoop the radish on there. So I've got that. And then 2 toppers that actually go with the pomegranate chicken that's recommended on the recipe are pomegranate. So we're gonna put some of these on here. So this is a great recipe for the winter season when you got the pomegranates around. But of course, if you can't get pomegranate seeds, you could still make the recipe, but you just wouldn't have this element, which I think really takes it to the next level. And then we're gonna do some green onion, put that on there, and there we go. So this is lunch. Got all this yummy stuff together, and then I'm just gonna kind of eat it with a spoon because it's pretty easy to cut through the chicken and eat it that way. And I also personally really enjoy these types of meals that are kind of build your own style, no matter what it is. I mean, it could be a lot of different things, but where you have a few different items and you can kind of pick and choose. It's really fun, I think, just to give some variety and some options, and especially if you're feeding a family or you know, you've got several people eating together. Even just for me and Jason, it's nice because even though we have the same kind of mix of things, we can each also kind of customize or do a little more of this or a little more of that, just depending on what we like. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat lunch, and then I'll talk to you at my next meal. All right, so I'm finishing up making dinner right now, and tonight we are having soup. So it's been bubbling away here. You can see that line where kind of the broth started and now it's, you know, reduced down a little bit. This is a lentil soup. This is actually also a Dr. Yum recipe, so I'll link this one for you as well. This is not one I developed. It's one my coworker Wendy worked on, but it is one of our favorites here. Jason really likes this. This is like one of his favorite meals. Now it is done simmering, but we do have one last step, and that is to add on this like finishing thing that goes in it. Hello! Hello! Hello, kitties. I think the kitties are also hungry. Hi! Marshmallow and Mr. Toasty. They are our newest kitty additions. They're so cute. Hello, guys. Okay, we'll work on getting you food too, but I gotta finish the soup up real quick. Okay, so this is what goes in the soup. It's a mixture of olive oil and lime juice and cilantro. So we're gonna pour this in and stir it in. Let me get this fork out of here. That's what I use to mix it up with. And we will turn off the burner so we are not heating anymore. And then we're gonna give this a pour. There we go. Get that in there. Now we'll get a spatula and scrape the last little bits, but we'll just mix this through. So it's nice because you have this hearty like soup, you know, simmered thing, but then you get this nice little fresh addition at the end with the fresh cilantro and the lime juice and the olive oil that kind of brightens it all up to finish it off. Another nice thing about the soup is it leans on a lot of pantry items. Yes, I still have Christmas lights up because I'm living that life. It relies on a lot of pantry items, so, and like kind of staple vegetables like onions and carrots and celery, and you know, the lentils are just something you can have in your pantry. It does have the fresh cilantro, so that's kind of the one thing that you couldn't keep in your fridge for basically ever, like you can the carrots, but it's a really good thing that you can kind of whip together pretty quick with stuff that you probably would already have around if you have a well-stocked fridge and pantry. So that's another reason I like it, and it uses allspice, and depending on what kinds of food you cook, typically allspice might be something you use all the time, or it might be one of those things that you bought for like one recipe or some sort of baked good or something, and then it's just sitting in your pantry. So either way, whether you use it all the time and you definitely have it, or you rarely use it and have a bottle collecting dust, both situations, it's a great recipe for that, because if you use it all the time, you'll probably really like the soup, and if you don't use it that often, then you probably have some that you need to use up. We're also gonna have some rosemary sourdough that I have going in the toaster, so we're gonna eat that, but I am very hungry. It's a little bit late, actually, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat this, and I'll talk to you a little bit later. So sometimes I end up eating like a little something after dinner, something sweet or something, but wasn't really feeling it tonight. That soup kind of hit the spot, and also ate pretty late, so there's like no time for me to get hungry again. But I'm in bed now, and I've got all my goop and whatever stuff on my face so I don't turn into a dry girl. And I'm gonna head off to sleep. So I hope you enjoyed this what I eat in a day, getting a look at my meals. Let me know what kind of stuff you've been making here lately. I would love to hear about what kind of food you've been loving. Oh, we have a floofy kitten here coming to join us. Hello, Floof. Hey, are you ready for some snuggles? Yeah? You ready to snuggle? But yeah, let me know what you've been making, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.